Well, good afternoon, everybody. My name is Blair and Nicol. We also have Emily Anderson. We're both with FranNet here in the Pacific Northwest. Today, we're going to talk about best businesses for sales professionals. We get a lot of clients our way who come from sales backgrounds, whether it be technical sales, pharmaceutical sales, medical device sales, doesn't matter, who say, God, you know what? I'd really like to own my own business someday, and it might be a franchise model. What types of franchises out there are catered towards sales professionals? So that's what we're going to go over today. So here's our agenda. We're going to do a quick intro of about 5 different businesses that we think are designed for sales professionals. At least we see our clients across the country who come from sales backgrounds tend to purchase these types of franchises. Is it all of them? No, it's not all of them, but it's really just to kind of give you a peppering or a sample of different types of businesses, just so you can see what they're kind of all about. And then we'll talk about next steps to see kind of what you should do if you have an interest in pursuing business ownership, if you come from that type of background. So our job here at FranNet is to help you maneuver through business and franchise ownership. Typically, our clients come to us saying, hey, I think this is something I want to take a look at, usually brand new to business and franchise ownership, which is just fine. But they want to figure out what businesses they match up best with. And then they also want help and coaching to not only find the right business for them, but how to properly research the businesses so they can make a safe and wise decision. So one thing you should know right off the bat, business ownership is not for everybody. It definitely isn't. But you also want to look, if you're going to do this, you're going to want to look at multiple businesses so you can kind of compare and contrast businesses along the way. So you can ultimately find the one that is right for you. We try to create a kind of a very safe environment, very methodical, strategic approach to selecting and finding the right business for you. Typically, it's a process that lasts about 2 to 4 months. We'll also hook you up with the franchise attorneys, the CPAs, the other resources that are available here in the Pacific Northwest to help you get this done in addition to us. And the best part about all of this, it's free. It's not free to actually buy the business, but our help is free because we are compensated by the franchisors. So think of us as kind of a matchmaker in between you and the franchisors. So we're the ones that kind of help you find the business that's right for you. So starting a business can be scary, but we are here to hold your hand, help you get through this process. So like I said, you can make a safe and wise decision of moving forward. So here we go. We'll be about 20 minutes in length or so, maybe 25 tops. But here's kind of a sampling of some sales businesses that we find our sales clients go into. So here's the first one. WSI. I love this one because it is a business that provides services that every single business has to use, or at least they should use. And we're talking about digital marketing. Is the name of the game these days. I mean, look, everything is digital, especially after 2020. Businesses have to advertise on the internet to drive traffic to their businesses. The unfortunate part about a lot of business owners is they have no idea how to do this. WSI is one of the largest companies in the planet. They're based up in Canada. They have hundreds and hundreds of franchisees throughout North America, and they help companies with their strategic options on Google, Facebook, Instagram, Yahoo, you name it. So not only pay-per-click or ad buys on the internet, but also advertising. But the nice part is that you as a sales professional are purely just selling the services to the clients. You're not actually fulfilling it. WSI corporate headquarters is actually fulfilling the technical side of all this. It is also typically a home or office-based business. So the hours are pretty flexible. Very low overhead. And the nice part about this type of business is that the overall investment, about $65,000 to $160,000, according to the franchisor, is very minimal. So it's very minimal cost to get into. Business to business, consultative type of sale. Like I said, home-based and a recurring revenue streams, which is also very nice. So there's a lot of nice components to WSI and obviously a needed service. Yes, it is a crowded industry, but you're going with one of the leading companies throughout the country, and there's lots of room here in the Pacific Northwest for WSI franchisees. So that's one. Emily?
Let's talk about Pride Staff. Now, there are a number of different staffing businesses out there, Pride Staff is one of the ones that has received probably some of the highest accolades. I know here at FranNet, they received an award for their commitment to excellence. For many, many years, they have earned what's called a Diamond Award, which is only awarded to, I believe, the top 1% of businesses in the staffing industry. So this is a business, an organization that I would say is very selective to whom they will award a franchise. As a matter of fact, they don't even call their franchise owners franchisees. They call them strategic partners. So if you are looking for a B2B business with a small team where you get to really build relationships with other VPs, other small business owners in your community, and really for problem solving for them with one of business owners' biggest headaches is staffing and employees. So if you're looking for an opportunity to provide excellence and be part of a phenomenal organization, and I would say Pride Staff is kind of small but mighty. They don't have perhaps as many locations across the country, but their locations are very powerful. One of the things that owners really like about Pride Staff is there is less of a need to acquire additional territory because you can scale so much within one location. So this is, again, relationship building. What Pride Staff is looking for in their strategic partners is someone with executive presence, who is a great communicator, who can think strategically, who is engaging. And I believe they're even, Blair, I don't know if you know this, but even in kind of their synopsis, they're looking for someone with a gracious personality as well. So if you enjoy the relationship building, the sales, the problem solving, and would enjoy having a small but professional team, you might want to consider Pride Staff. The investment range is between about 137 and 233. And love to tell you more about it if you're interested.
And what company isn't hiring right now, right? All right, the next one, focal point business coaching. Business coaching has been around for years. We have a lot of clients who come to us and say, you know what? I think I want to be a consultant. Well, this is a way, you know, the hard part about becoming a consultant is, one, you kind of have to find your niche. Two, you have to bring systems and know-how, procedures. Main thing is brand name. And you got to figure it out all yourself. So what I tell my clients about focal point is, if you're thinking about becoming a consultant and wanting to help businesses, really consider focal point. It's a way of immediately putting a consulting business on steroids. Focal point was started many years ago. It's been around, gosh, I don't know, 10, more than that, probably 15, 20 years, started by a gentleman by the name of Brian Tracy down in Southern California. If you Google the name Brian Tracy, you'll see hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of Google pages of him. He's one of the world's premier business coaches. Focal Point has hundreds of coaching practices across really around the world now. They also offer a master franchise model, which I don't really want to get into on this presentation, but if you want to learn more about master franchising, feel free to reach out to Emily and I. Our clients tend to be focused more on the individual coaching practice, where these individual coaches help small business owners with their strategic forecasting, with their profitability, with their marketing. They have many different disciplines to help businesses get from A to B. Because the hard part about being a business owner is you know how to run the day-to-day operations and you know where you want to go financially and strategically. You just don't know how to get there. And that's where Focal Point comes into play. And so that's what Focal Point does. They help coach small to medium-sized business owners and helping them achieve their goals. Again, more of a B2B type of play here, home-based, very flexible hours, really only need a handful of accounts or businesses to work with. Very high margins. So, and like I said, if you can see on the investment range up there, about 62,000 to 85,000, which is on the grand scheme of franchises is extremely affordable. You can also see their financial requirements, but if you have this passion for wanting to work with businesses and you come from a sales background and you like coaching and mentoring, you might want to give Focal Point a serious consideration.
Very similar along those lines is Sandler training. Now, Sandler, again, this is a B2B business that oversees, sales training, management, leadership training, and coaching. Honestly, it has some parallels with Focal Point, what Blair was just talking about. Whereas Focal Point is coaching the businesses to help the individuals within the business improve the business, Sandler is really coaching and training the individuals. This is all about performance improvement on the individual level. So helping the individuals in an organization be more effective, efficient communicators. This includes in their sales, maybe in their management tactics. If you enjoy training people, whether it's small groups or large groups, also, it provides more reinforcement training from the franchisor, meaning that, you're going to get out there and start earning some clients and accounts and start developing their training. And the franchisor provides you with a lot of reinforcement and ongoing training. I have personally, actually just this morning, I attended a portion of a Sandler training, and the communication tips and the things that they provide, I just can't say enough about it, having been the recipient of it. So if you enjoy upskilling people, if you enjoy providing people with a vehicle or a platform to help them upskill or take their own skills, their own career to the next level, and you enjoy building relationships and kind of winning these accounts, you might want to give Sandler some consideration. The investment range is about $115 to $145.
Gotcha. Thank you, Emily. All right, this last one, the fifth of the five, if you will, is actually a business to, for the most part, a business to consumer model, but I guess it's kind of a hybrid B2C and B2B type of model. Oasis Senior Advisors. What Oasis Senior Advisors does is they help find a place for grandma and grandpa. Look, we're all going to go through this. It is if you look at the baby boomer generation, it's just getting older and older, and they want to stay at home as long as possible. But, many times they need to go to a senior facility of some part, or a long-term living facility, or whatever the case may be. Oasis Senior Advisors makes that transition very doable for not only the senior, but also for the family who's probably helping their parent go through this transition. The nice part about Oasis Senior Advisors is that they are paid by the facilities out there. So they're paid by the long-term facilities, by the assisted living facilities. They are not paid by the family. So it's actually a free service to the family. So a very nice feel-good type of service where you're not only helping the family, but you're also helping the facility in finding the family. And what happens is that when they sign a lease, basically, you get a portion of that lease. I think it's a portion of the first month, if I remember correctly. Again, like I said, a B2B and also B2C model, home-based. You would want the ability of, or the knack of wanting to help families, help others. At the same time, be comfortable with networking and getting out there to the facilities to become a referral partner for them. And then also doing some advertising to get the families to work with. Like I said, typically home-based, very affordable investment range, $65,000 to $100,000 typically. Still pretty good availability. And you can see their financial requirements up there. So again, senior assisted living placements with Oasis Senior Advisors.
So let's talk about next steps. I mean, Blair and I have just given a sampling, if you will, of a couple of different business models. Tiny bit, a couple of different examples. If you are someone with great sales skills, and candidly, sometimes the word sales can even seem like a bad word. The way I see it in some of these examples is a lot of salespeople are just great problem solvers, great communicators, and great at building relationships. So if that sounds like you, and if you're interested in learning more, be on the lookout. We are going to follow up with you with some information via email. And one of the resources that we're going to provide is a link to an entrepreneur profile. This is feels a lot like a disc or a Myers-Briggs, but it is specific to business ownership. It takes about 20 minutes. You'll get an 11-page report, which requires a little bit of translation that Blair and I can help you out with. But I do want to call out, as you look on the right hand of the screen here, this is a screenshot of one of the pages. And toward the bottom of the page here on that screenshot, you'll see sales potential. So this is a psychometric personality test that will literally help us identify your best business in terms of what fits your sales skills and your customer acquisition strategy. A lot of the businesses that we just talked about are those types of businesses that fit someone with above average or high sales skills. I really encourage you to take advantage of this resource. There's also an ebook that we will provide to you that answers a lot of initial questions people have when considering this path. And again, Blair and I are not going to try to talk you in or out of anything. We have some great resources that can really help you jumpstart and identify what path makes the most sense for you. So if you have any questions, contact Blair or I directly. Here's our contact information. Please be on the lookout for an email from us with this follow-up information, and best of luck to you and your entrepreneurial journey.
Thank you, Emily. Thank you, everybody.
Thanks, everybody. Have a great rest of your day.